Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron speaking. I have a past life that I'm going to be going over with you guys, past life of mine. Um, this is one of the past lives that I was given as the result of an oracle card, or in this case, oracle cards, like crazy amount of cards. So all of these cards that I pulled because I was trying to get a personal oracle card reading for myself from Metatron. All of these cards are tied into this one past life. Um, and I'm kind of glad that they are because honestly, it's one of the I don't want to say stranger past lives, but it's kind of a wild past life. It gets wild. Um, and so these cards are kind of validation for me that, yep, that is in fact what I saw and what I heard and what I felt and all of that other stuff. So you'll remember once before I had received oracle cards from Metatron, and there were two cards together that had indicated to me that we were going to be doing some time traveling or we were going to be doing some past life exploration. So this is the exact card that he gave me last time this happened, a tall tale. And my association was basically with this hat being from the past. And then also on this one, it's a compass technically, but it looks like a timepiece. And so whenever I'm seeing like these antique timepiece, antique watch, antique clock kind of things, it gives me that feeling, that energy of traveling through the past. So these are the two cards that let me know we're going to do a past life. And then I'm actually going to read you the information that came through for me, and then I'm going to show you how these cards tie into it. And let's see. Okay, so this past life started off from me talking to Isis, which, if you saw a recent video of mine, I had a short blurb that I had channeled from her, and she was kind of sassy. And so Isis is the one who gives this to me initially, but she doesn't there's nothing personal to her in this, so I don't want to disappoint you, but technically Isis said to me, I want to show you somewhere. And that's how this started. I want to show you somewhere. And then I realized, okay, this is the past life from like the multiple oracle cards. So it starts off with an aerial view. So it's like I'm up in the sky and I'm looking down and I can see this like beautiful blue ocean. The sun's coming up. It's like sparkling on the water. And there's land nearby it. There's an island nearby it. It's not a small island, but it's there. So what I'm being shown is Lemuria. So I've had a past lifetime before that I've talked about with you guys with Lemuria, and that was with that there was this like we had a spiritual leader that I was like in love with, and he and I had ended up doing like meditation and doing astral projection and being able to go and spend time with each other as energy bodies out in on different planets. So it was kind of crazy now that I think about it. So it's that Lemurian lifetime again. We're going back to it. So I'm on a white sand beach. I'm sitting on the sand, and I kind of have like my legs out a little bit, and in between my legs I have like this big piece of wood that I'm like working on. And so I'm like I used a bunch of different words because I didn't know quite how to say it. I'm like carving it, shaping it, smoothing the pieces of wood. I'm like working this wood over. And this is going to go on a canoe or a small boat that looks like a canoe that I am building. So a man without a shirt walks up to me, and it's the spiritual leader from, I can't say the last lifetime, but it's the spiritual leader from the last time that I saw this lifetime. Um, so I can tell from this lifetime, I'm still very much in love with this guy. So we're a little bit older now. It's maybe like 3 years later, 4 years later, something like that. Um, so we are romantic partners now. So he like squats down next to me so he can see what I'm doing better. And then he pulls something from his pocket, and it's like string, it's like brightly colored string that's been like woven into this like design. And so it's like this long decoration. And he has one that looks just like this that's like tied into his hair. And so now the one he's showing me is like a match to it. And so this is one that he's made for me. And so he's putting it in my hair for me. And I'm told that it's kind of like the equivalent of like a ring, or it's the equivalent of showing that this is the person that you are seriously involved with. Um, so people would use these decorations, but it would just be whatever colors or whatever design that you used, the person you match with, that's like your person. Um, so we continue to work on the canoe. We've been working on it for a long time. It's not just like a quick project. And so I see that it gets later. It's like the equivalent of dinner time basically now. So everyone eats outside together. The whole tribe eats outside together. The fires are burning. The sun has set, but there's this weird thing that happens on islands. Maybe it happens other places too. There's this weird thing, and sometimes it happens at the beach, where the sun can set, but sometimes there's still so much light that it's almost like the whole sky is kind of lit up a certain color, even though there's clearly no sun left. And so it was doing that, where there was like this blue glow to the sky, before the blackness rolls in. So I was helping put food out on the tables. The older people here have dark, tanned skin with deep wrinkles and like long white and gray hair. They have beautiful things tied in their hair, just like the younger people. My partner is playing a flute. It's like so peaceful, so beautiful. I am sitting at the children's table. So, like, there's a table where all the children are, and then right next to that table is a table where all the really, I don't want to say really old, all the elders were sitting at. And so I like to sit right in between on those table areas so that I have access to both of those groups. These are my two favorite groups to be around, both with a lot of wisdom in different ways. I have a vision while I'm sitting there. So I see a hurricane come to the island in the night. We've never had a hurricane before. We don't even have a word for it because it's just not something that's ever happened to that area. Um, so there's a elder woman who's sitting next to me on my right, and so I look over at her, and she's frowning. She's frowning, frowning, frowning. And I ask her if she's having a vision too. And so she starts telling me about it, and we have had the same vision. So the older woman starts speaking to her guides quietly in another language. So I don't know. Okay, I'm being told this is some kind of galactic language that she was aware of. So she starts speaking to whatever guide it was in that language. And it's almost like a prayer or a chant, like she's getting into some kind of trance or something to get more information, it seems, from her guides. So a woman my age runs over to me and tells me that she's just had a vision. And again, it's the same exact vision. So several others also received it at the same time. My partner, the guy playing the flute, is also one of these people. So he has stopped playing the flute. He goes up to, I don't know what these people are called. It's basically the equivalent of the chief's son. And so he goes up to the chief's son and is telling him what's going on, about we're all having the same vision. And then he decides to tell the tribe at that time what's going on so that as a tribe we can decide what we want to do with this. So there are no protective structures on the island for high winds because we've never had high winds. Like this is paradise that we live on. We don't there's we've never had a problem. Why would we have a structure for that? So there's a council, and this council is like a spiritual council. It's the council of all of those who are the most psychically in tune, psychically gifted, and psychically gifted individuals in the tribe. And we are going to gather together at this tent that my at the it's my partner, but he's the spiritual leader. There's this tent that the spiritual leader like works out of. It's like his office, but it's like this is just the tent that he hangs out at for work. Um, but so we're gonna all meet there to try to come up with a solution because it's decided that we need to try to gather some more information on this and see if we can come up with a solution that way. Um, so we all go there, and it's, I don't know, 12, 14. There probably about 12 or 14 of us. And most decide to meditate for a solution because, like, the way people meditate on this island is something else. Like I told you in that other lifetime, when my partner, well, he wasn't my partner then, when the spiritual leader and I meditated, we did like that astral projection. So this is like next level meditation. So most people were like, okay, let's start meditating for this solution. And they were doing it as a unit, they were doing it together. And my partner and I and one other female decide that while they do that, we're going to astral travel over to this hurricane and just try to see how bad it is, see how far away it is, just see if we can gather some more information on it. So once all three of us are in the astral realm, once all three of us are in the astral plane, is what I should call that, astral plane, we see that there is an animal guide waiting for us. It is a white wolf named Aranyu. He is a guide over our tribe. He has helped us many times in the past, but never for something like this. So if you've watched my other videos recently, I had a video that was based off of a oracle card that I pulled that had a wolf on it, and it was making reference to my white wolf spirit guide, animal guide, whose name is Aranyu, who apparently was also the tribe's guide way back when. So it makes sense that I've had many lifetimes with him. So anyways, so it's him again. So he has come to lead the way. So basically our guides are helping us with this problem. So he guides us over to where we need to go to locate this hurricane. The hurricane has a lot of intense energy. So even though we don't have bodies when we're doing this, our bodies are, you know, sitting under his tent or whatever, hanging out. We're just energy bodies going into this space. So even though we don't have physical bodies, we can't tolerate getting too close to the hurricane because of the way the energy feels. Our guide takes us above this hurricane to look straight down, and we can see the eye of the storm. We can see the calm at the center of the chaos. It seems like a very tiny eye, like the eye of a needle. Now, I want you to know that in the moment I channeled this, in the moment I channeled that the eye of this hurricane was very small and it was almost like the eye of a needle, I all of a sudden went This is these are those oracle cards. Because before that, I didn't know it was connected to these. I knew it was going to be connected to one of them, but I didn't realize just how many. So I want to show you some of these oracle cards now. Like, this is nuts. Eye of the Needle. And let me show you something else. All these cards that I have. Eyes of the Eagle, rising above the fray. Well, guess where we were positioned when we were looking at everything? We were positioned above the fray, above the hurricane. We had the eyes of an eagle because we were up high. So these blew my mind. Let me tell you more and I'll tie back the other cards. Da, 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 da. Okay, so the eye is small, like the eye of a needle. So we start trying to come up with solutions. So we start spinning energy in the opposite direction of the hurricane and kind of pushing it down or placing it down in this storm to see if we can like disrupt it. It doesn't do anything, at least not what we want it to do. It only seems to add more energy to the chaos. The other members of the spiritual council, remember all the people who are meditating as a group right now, they have been shown what the hurricane looks like from above, and they have received messages to focus on the center to expand it out further. The three of us in the astral plane, gotta use the right word, the three of us in the astral plane, so me, my partner, and that woman, are connected to the energy of the members of the spiritual council who are meditating together. We are connected to their energy enough that we receive this desire to do the same thing that they've just learned about. So we feel compelled to do this too. So we all start putting our intention. What did I do with my cards? What did I do with my cards? We all start putting our intentionality, and focus on the eye of the storm, on the calm part of the storm, to expand it. And so we all expand the eye of the storm enough that it dissipates the storm. So this is the end of that lifetime. Let's talk about this though. Man, let me see if I can remember all these cards tied in. So this one, if you look at the picture, it's like dandelions, and as we all know, people like to pick dandelions and then you like blow on them and they all scatter everywhere. So it made me think of wind, which was super appropriate because of us seeing the high winds of this hurricane. So this tied in for me that way. Um, da, 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 da. Shoot, I've forgotten some of these, so I'm gonna have to tune back into the energy. This one, earth magic. So Lemuria is an island that was once part of Earth, and we were using magic to resolve our issues. And so the Earth magic card is appropriate and applicable to this lifetime. Um, let's talk about this. This one was tied back in. So remember this card where we had Eye of the Needle, and now this card is another one that I was received. It says repairing the veil forgiveness. That you don't need, those words are not applicable. So if you look carefully, it's actually over here. There's like a needle with some thread over here. And so, two pieces of this. One, we went through the veil in order to go go doing the astral projection was taking us through the veil to go see more than what we see behind this veil currently. Um, but the needle, it was showing that our intentionality, us having a focused intention, maybe along with some earth magic, can do the impossible, can sew up the veil in this picture. But in my lifetime, it allowed us to reverse a hurricane. So this is the greater message for the group, is that your intention and your magic can do anything. We can sew up the veil. Um, One last card. I can't remember how it ties in. Moon Maiden, New Beginnings. Okay. Mhm. So this is us. This is humanity. See this right here? This is the this is symbolically the veil that we just talked about, the veil that was mentioned here, but the veil is basically, I'm trying to think of a way to describe it. There's like an energetic barrier that separates Earth from being able to see and interact with all the other entities, planets, and energies that are beyond 3D. So, the way I'm familiar with the veil is that we've been having lightworker gateways, I don't know, for the last several months. And I was originally shown that the veil that keeps us safe and cozy in our 3D thinking, because we can't look up in the sky and see all the other planets and all the other things out there that exist, but because of where we are, we cannot see them, we cannot experience them. There's a veil there, there's a block there. They were showing me there's a little tear in the veil now, and we're letting some of these higher vibrational energies start to impact you guys so that we can start bringing you up and start bringing you into a different reality. So he's showing us this is us, right? It's like, man. So this is the veil. We're behind the veil. And look at us. We have wings. We can't fly. Can't fly in 3D because look at her. She's underwater. It's like we're drowning beneath this veil. And we're supposed to be soaring with our wings up in the sky, with the moon, with the magic, with the divine feminine energy. Yikes. Yeah. So the bigger message to the group is not everything you see, hmm, not everything that's real you can see. We all knew that, though, with our physical eyes at least. And that open your mind to the impossible, because the impossible is entirely possible. There's no such thing as impossible. And one of the messages that I got recently, gosh, I don't even know who I was talking to. It came through and it just kind of startled me. But it said every oh, dang, I probably should look up my notes, but it basically said something to the effect of every possible outcome exists. Everything that could be exists somewhere. There's no such thing as impossible. There's no such thing as yeah. So anyways, I'm sorry. That's kind of a philosophical conversation to be bringing up right now, but this is the lifetime I had about Lemuria. I hope you can gather from this the larger message of your personal power, the power of your intention and your magic, and working with the divine and working together with others towards a joint purpose. That's what brought so much power to that solution, was that we were not only working as that council, we were working with the divine, and we used the intention and the magic, and that means absolutely anything can happen. So, till next time, you guys. I'll see you later. Bye bye.